Good morning, all. I'm just going to introduce Girma Balu, who is from Awash Wines in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. I think we'll just get started. So the idea was you can tell us a bit about yourself. You are Corporate Affairs and Export Director, and you'll tell us about Awash Wines. So really the first question is, please tell us about Awash Wine and your business environment. Thanks.
Okay, Awash Wine, probably if we can go through the Awash Wine is based in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is in the east of Africa. So we have been in business for over 80 years. There are only two wineries. You may be surprised to hear that there are wineries in the East African or in the Saharan African continent. But our company has been in business for over 8 years now. And one of the, we enjoy a market share equivalent to 80 to 85%. The other one being a second company, which covers about 10%, and the remaining 5% is covered by imports. We have about 1,200 employees. Our turnover is over 1.5 billion Ethiopian birr, an equivalent of, I would say, about 20 to $30 million. In terms of operations, we have about 6 brands that extend between value brands to premium brands. We have 2 wineries in Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia, and we have our vineyard some 180 kilometers from the center. So it's a kind of unique process where we harvest our grape and transport it to the center to process it and make our wine. Our future plan is to have our wineries there at the vineyard. One thing that may be interest to you guys is due to our typical terroir and the climate, the favorable climate, we produce wine. We harvest twice in a year. So it's a 6-month cycle for our vineyard. So a little bit, I explained already about Ethiopia. It's in the Horn of Africa. As you can see, it's a kind of landlocked country, home to 100 million people, over 85 languages. We pride ourselves being the cradle of mankind. Lucy, which is a fossil that is found of a human skeleton, believed to be 3.2 million years old, and believed to be a female body, which is the oldest, I guess, so far. In terms of terrain, it's considered to be the roof of Africa with a lot of mountains, the biggest of which is about 4,550 meters above sea level. That is Ras Dejen or Ras Dashen, one of your clients, Dashen beer. Danakil Depression is on the other side, about 125 meters below sea level, which is also one of the hottest places on Earth. The source of Blue Nile, as you know, Blue Nile is the Nile River is the longest in the world with almost 7,000 kilometers, and the source of the Blue Nile is Ethiopia, that stretches over Sudan, Egypt, and all the way to the Mediterranean. In terms of just to share a little bit history about Ethiopia as well, I believe most of the clients are from the southern part of Africa. That's why I'm just taking a little bit of time to introduce. We have an ancient civilization like the Aksum, Lalibela, and the Gondar Kingdom. Some of the pictures that you see on the top left side depicts some architecture that's rock-hewn churches and palaces engraved from a single rock. In the middle, you'll see also Ethiopia is one of the only country with its own alphabet. We also believe we have the Lost Ark of the Covenant in one of our sacred churches in the northern part of the country. Also, Ethiopia, some of you may have heard that the Battle of Adwa with the Italians in 1896 is a landmark victory for the Black people of the world, and we proud ourselves of not being colonized in its entire history, except a few occupations during the Second World War. The other picture that you see is a lady brewing coffee. We believe that the origin of coffee is Ethiopia, and the first cup of coffee was drunk in Ethiopia. You may also see Madiba or Mandela in his young age when he was being trained in Ethiopia in the 1960s, early 1960s, before his long imprisonment. So we have a long association with the South African people and shared history. So much about Ethiopia. That's a teaser for those of you who want us to come to Ethiopia to visit. There are a lot of historic nature, highland, lowland, and ancient civilization that might be of interest to you guys. Considering about our company, the picture that you see is a local wine that's called Tej, made of honey. Not the usual grapes, but this is one of the popular drinks, and winemaking, be it the honey or grapes, is associated with the Ethiopian tradition and culture, going all the way back to the Aksumite era, which is the 1st century. I went over the key facts, I guess, so I'll just pass quickly on this one, and just to share some of the brands. These are the 6 brands and the 8 different varieties of wine that we have. Under Camila brand, we have white and rosé wine. Under Gaveta, we have red and wine again. The Dankira that you see on the left side is not a pure wine, but a wine-based cocktail. Awash, Gudar, Aksumit are the other brands. Awash, the one you see in the middle, is the most favorite brand in Ethiopia, made of resin, mostly imported from South Africa. But the others, especially the premium brands, are made of our own grapes. And this is the latest invention of the Gabeta, the catering to the premium brand. We have a Magnum with 750 and 1.5 liters that is being served in some places. I believe I also mentioned a little bit about our vineyard, which is located about 180 kilometers from Addis, and probably we'll share some videos about it at the end of the presentation. The terra is characterized by tropical arid climate with it is a kind of dry land. I'm not going through all the presentations on this, since I mentioned. In terms of varietals, we have Chenin Blanc, Petit Syrah, Grenache, Sangiovese, Dodoma, Cabernet, and a few others that we are adding to our portfolio of varieties, and we are bringing some of these new varieties also from South Africa. So let me go to the Syspro journey. Compared to the previous presenters, which has spent some 30 years, and our journey extends only for 4 years. So it's just, we're just past toddler, and we're making some baby steps. So prior to 2018, we used a mix of a local ERP called Hillmark and manual systems in place. So the decision to transition to Syspro was made sometime in 2017, and the go live date was in July 2018. Currently we have about 32 licenses for concurrent users. I'm not going to go into all the list, but we use a lot of current modules we are utilizing. I'll focus more on our wish list that we are planning to include. That include the executive dashboard, Avantins app, the document management system that we are missing, also the transition from on-site to a cloud-based that may help to elimination of the risk of loss of data due to any incident. At the moment, we have the on-site based process. We do our backup, but these are some of executive dashboard, return merchandise that is critical for our process, as well as trade promotions. So when we revise what we have as current modules and what the Syspro can provide, we are looking into adding these modules to make our operation more efficient and to make better use of Syspro. Just some reflect. Yes.
Can I ask you a quick question, because we're taking up a bit of time here? So you've mentioned some of the stuff that you've used on Syspro. Tell us any sort of, within the 4 years so far, what sort of returns have you got, or return on expectation, or what benefits are you getting, or how is the process going at the moment? Because I know you're doing a bit of re-implementation at this point in time.
So it's always hard to put numbers and figures into a return on investment, but in terms of return on expectations, as I mentioned, we moved from a manual or a local ERP system into Syspro. We have some challenges, but it opened our eyes that if we can make use of since the beginning, we have automated all our sales processes, payment processes, production processes. So we are able to capture all the data. We're not, it's one repository that we have all the data that we want for analysis. Since we don't have the executive dashboard and the analytical tools, the analysis may be a little bit of a challenge, but it opened our eyes to go more into the ERP functionalities and to add some other applications so that our system will go to a desired level.
And then another point would be, have you got any thoughts on enablement? You and I have discussed that sometimes it's hard once you put the system in to get the users to use it, and the amount of training and help that's required. Have you any comments on that?
So yes, one of our challenge in the past 4 years is, and maybe a little bit sharing for other potential users as well, having a good champion at the senior management level, having a good training and familiarization process in place can take you to a great length. One of our challenges, some of our key people that have been trained because of a little bit of turnover have left the company. So we have faced some challenges. So what we are planning to do is now to have a systematic training where we'll probably, while we do some of the live training as well, we'll be planning to have videos that we can share with others so that for newcomers, we'll be able to train people
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you have any other comments, I'd like to move on to the video, and then maybe you can talk through the video as well if any thoughts that come up. But have you got any final thoughts for the moment regarding anything really, the experiences you've had? I know you're relatively new to Awash in the role you're in,
Yes.
but any other thoughts? And then maybe we just, when you want, just ask the chaps and they'll put the video on and you can perhaps talk through it if you want.
Yeah, I guess, as I said, in our success, several modules are implemented. Our traceability of our product is in place. Quality assurance and control prior to accepting incoming stock is in place as well. That is due to Syspro. Internal capacity well developed in the technical team. As I mentioned in our challenge, the high turnover, all data migration issue, and some critical modules are missing. So as the final thought, as a critical success factor, leadership and commitment is the biggest prerequisite for any system implementation, and that's all I can say. Probably we can run the video, and if there are any questions, I can be available in the background.
Can we play the video now? Is that possible?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Germa. But you can, I think you can probably talk through this, but if you can play the video, that would be good. Thank you. And then we'll fade out. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we have 517 hectares of vineyard. It's just to show you that the vineyard exists.
Yeah, and also that you use raisins from Cape Town. I thought that was interesting.
Yes,
and your
yes.
land is bigger than many wine farms down here too.
That's true, that's true. Out of the 517 hectares, 220 hectares is vineyard. The others were growing some other crops. But eventually the plan is to expand to the whole 500 hectares, minus a little bit.
So I think maybe with time we should fade out a bit. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
that was very good. Thanks, Germa.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.